brighter than light. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for coming out again for a little BS on a Thursday. I'm all about BS every day, but particularly on Thursdays. So I hope you've had a productive week so far. You're probably asking, why do I have a roll of toilet paper on my desk? Well, you never know when it's going to be a crappy week. But this is actually not toilet paper, believe it or not. I guess you could use it in a pinch. But this is some of the media that we're going to talk about today, doing custom labels along with our cassette system right here. So we'll go into all the label design. I'm going to show you a little bit about P-Touch Editor software and the do's and the don'ts and how damn easy it is to make these labels. So first and foremost, Dan, I appreciate the intro song. Hey, we got to rock that thing out. I got to tell you, we gotta metalize that song, man. But Dan, I appreciate you doing that for me. And new studio, it's in the works. It's not the studio I had before, so I've put a couple of things up, and we'll get the strobe lights and the fog machines going and stuff like that down the road. But a little more of a cramped space in here, but not bad so far. I do have high-speed internet up here in Ramona, which is now a 3-horse town. My wife finally brought that beast of burden over, and so 3-horse town now here in Ramona. So anyway, let's get to it. And this is going to be some label design. And I'm watching these little comments over here come in, and Dan, all right, let's rock it. Anyway, so label design, custom label design. So everyone knows that our machines, you can do, I'm always talking about cable labels and patch panels and flag labels and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? It's really cool. Another aspect of what Brother has is customizing these labels. Oh, I almost forgot. Here we go. So flag label, been in there for, since the end of March. We're going on almost a year that these two have been inside water. And this is a typical flag label and a cable wrap label. Again, just to show you our water resiliency. In fact, we got an upcoming episode that I'm going to really put these labels to the test again, and all sorts of chemicals and acetone and gasoline and Jim Beam. Oh, no, forget that. No, that's blasphemy. But we're going to have a real nice episode coming up about that. But today is, again, all about cable. Custom label design. And I'm going to share my screen. The first thing I'm going to show you is P-Touch Editor software. And a little bit about P-Touch Editor software. It is a Windows-based software. It's free. The F word, you don't have to pay for it. You can put it on as many machines or nodes as you want. Our competitors charge for that. They charge up front for the software package, and then they charge for licensing. And again, it's also our competitors are a proprietary software. I got to tell you by experience, when I actually used to work out in the field, I do not like their software, period. So being the P-Touch Editor is a Windows-based software, it's very, very easy to use. I'm going to show you a couple different things about it, and then we're going to get into customizing labels. But as far as customization goes, it could be anything from asset management on there. How about putting a company logo on there? Stand out above your competition as a contractor or an integrator, if you will. You're trying to win a big job somewhere? Why not go in and do I thought I had well, maybe not. But a faceplate, do a mock-up faceplate, do some mock-up cable wraps, put your potential customer's logo on there. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do with this. So with that being said, I just added a second monitor. Hell, I'm not even smart enough to deal with one monitor, but now I got two, and I'm going to try and share my screen here. This may go a little bit wonky. Forgive me if it does, but let's get right into P-Touch Editor software and how this works. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully nothing comes up, if you will. I'm going to go into our P-Touch Editor software. I hope everyone can see this. It says that you can. The first thing you notice when this comes up is you've got several different options right here. Now, these options with the different templates are based upon the printer. If you notice up in the upper right-hand corner where my mouse is, where it says Brother TD 4550 DNWB, say that fast 3 times. Again, these are the templates associated with the printer. Now, that printer essentially is going to use this type of paper media. All right. And you can design labels not only for the P-Touch machines, the regular labels, the TZE labels, but you can do it on some of our paper label 4-inch machines as well. So for today's demonstration purposes, I'm going to drop this down. As you can see, I've got drivers on here for several printers. I've got the E550, I've got the E800, and I've got the 4550. So what we're going to do is we're going to select you know what? Let's go with the PTE 800. Give that just a second to populate there. As you can see, we have a lot more that we can do. Hey, Christmas. There's all sorts of templates, but we're gonna fast track all that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a new layout here. All right. What it's going to do is it's going to take you to a page, all right, that is the Express. There's two different parts of P-Touch Editor software. There's the Express and there's the professional side. And I'm going to show you both sides of the fence here. But right off the bat, what you do is you select your media. And if you notice here is all the tapes associated with this particular printer, all the different sizes. The heat shrink is available down there on the left-hand side, as well as the FLE, the new flag series, which is the die cut label that will work with the the 800 and the 900 series. Keep in mind the flag labels will not work with the PTE 500 or 550W. All right. So in this particular case, what I'll do is I'll select 1.5 inch. Now, the easy part of the Express is that everything you need to do is up here. All right. I'm going to make things a little more difficult. I'm going to go to the professional side, only because I like to do the things the hard way. To me, I like the feel of the professional side a little better because it mimics more of like an office type of software application. So the one thing you'll notice up here is that you can select any type of font that you want. You don't necessarily have to use Arial Black. Essentially, everything inside Word is going to be inside here. All right. So again, let's just keep it simple. Let's keep it Arial Black at this point. Bolding, italicizing, underscoring. Again, anything that you can do in, let's say, Word, you can do on this particular template. I think I just kicked my camera, so I can't see myself. But one of the things you can do is, and I'm going to show you how easy this is, again, from a blank canvas. Let's start off with a logo, a picture. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in, we're going to insert a picture. We're going to go from file. Now it's going to open up my files on the computer. And I specifically did a folder this morning. Oh, look, there's Jamie. We'll deal with Jamie a little bit later. But let's just take the Brother logo. All right, let's insert the Brother logo. And now you can take this logo at any time and you can move it anywhere on the screen. All right. You also notice that it is in blue. All right. Now in this particular case, I'm printing black on white. So here's a little trick of the trade. Now, number one, you can change the size of the logo. All right. You can put it anywhere you want. You can change the size. My mouse is not behaving. Neither is my computer. So let's give this just a second here. And it looks like something's refreshing. Wow, that was weird. All right, well, let's try it again. Anyway, you can change the size of the logo, but here's the key as far as any logo that you put up here. Now, again, you can grab anything off the internet. You can grab any PNG, any JPG, or any GIF as well. But what I want to do is on the picture, all right, I want to right click, I want to select properties because I want to grayscale this. And if you look on the effects here, right, you can grayscale it. When I grayscale it, all right, boom, there, I'm done. All right. So you want to do that. You can change the brightness. Again, that is in your properties. All right. So let's go back into properties real quick. You can change the brightness. You can change the you can invert it. There's all sorts of things you can do to this particular logo. But in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my logo up here. All right. And I don't know. Let's do this. Let's insert another picture. Let's go grab a picture of Jamie Brookover here. Oh, there's Jamie. All right. So as you can see, Jamie's already black and white. All right. But what is going on here with this? Let's go ahead and let's downsize him. Let's put him up here like so. All right. Now, at this particular point in time, what I want to do is I want to add some barcoding. All right. There's a couple of things you can do as far as the barcoding. If you want to go over here and add specific barcoding, click on the barcode. What you're going to see is your different protocols here. All right. As you can see right now, it is QR code, but I can select from any type of the 1D or 2D. There's only a couple that we don't do. For the vast majority, I'd say 99% of all the barcoding that is going on out there, we're going to have it available here. But you can pick your protocol, whether it be barcode or code 39 or whatever. I'm a big fan of barcodes and QR codes specifically. But you can pick micro QR codes. You can do data matrix, so forth and whatnot. As far as the input, you can type in whatever you want. Now it's going to take that Jamie Jamie Brookover barcode, all right. And again, I'm just going to customize this a little bit, and we're going to minimize Jamie over here, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to add this guy. And I do apologize, my computer is all right. So now, great for name badges too. All right. I'm getting more and more specifically now, with the pandemic rolling along, I'm getting companies that want ID badges. And again, we do those. We do the ID badging that you can insert pictures and information as well. But now what I want to do is I want to add let's go with the database. So what I'll do is I'll come up to database because I want some information on here. Now, before we do that, you can put your own verbiage in here. All right. So let's say that you wanted to put whatever information on this particular barcode and you just want to type it in. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and this is a text block. Is what we do here. As you can see on the screen, it created a text block that I can move anywhere I want. I can type in anything that I want. All right. I can bold it. I can italicize it. I can, let's come up here and let's do, let's do this Bauhaus or whatever the heck that is. But what I want to do is I want to minimize it. And then I'm going to bring it up here. All right. And let's just do that. All right. So we've got that at this particular point in time. As you can see, you can add anything you want to add to this, really, as far as any type of verbiage. We've gone through the asset management pictures, so forth and whatnot. I got to save this. This is going to be incredible. So you can also, at this point, you can come in and you can select file. Now I want to put a database associated with this. So let's go to my database and let's, now there's two things about a database, and I've gone through this before, is that I have a current database already here, all right? If I hit next, what'll happen is you're going to see that database fill the space below. You can also change the screen, if you will. So you can minimize this to give you more work area up above here. If you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, all right, you can also minimize your work area just by clicking on this. Okay, so what I want to do in this particular point in time is I want to go ahead and I want to add some database to this. So what we'll do is, and I'm about ready to throw this POS computer out. It's not behaving well. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'll come up here. I'm going to paste it. Now, I can either do one of two things. Right? I can paste and I'm going off of the cells, if you will. And what will eventually happen is if I copy the first, let's say the first cell in the first column, all right, it's going to pull the information as I start printing. It's going to pull the information off of basically whatever comes next. All right. So as you can see, I've got the 555 1 2 3 4. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste this as text. All right. And we're going to move it over here. Goodness gracious. Now, you can see it's left based right now. I want to center this. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to center this. All right. And I'm going to put this right about here. Now watch what happens when I scroll down, and let's say that we're printing all of these off and we're hooked up to either the PTE 500, the 550W, the 800, the 900 series, the PTE 800. One of two things is if I have the printer tethered to my PC right now, as I print and as I'm scrolling down, so I'm down arrowing over, it essentially keeps all that information static except for the info that I've pulled off of the database. So as this prints off, you're going to have everything on this label remain static, but yet the one variant is going to be this information from the database. Now, let's say I wanted to transfer this template, and let's say that this was a service tag, all right, the Jamie Brookover service tag. All right. What I would want to do is I would want to lock some of these in place. So in other words, I don't want anybody on the PTE 800 or the 900 or even on the software to mess with what I put on here. All right. So what I'll do is I'll come up, I'll right click again. I'll go down to properties. If you go to expanded, all right. Let's wait for my PC. Click this button right here. All right. Prevent movement or resizing with the mouse or the arrow keys. When I hit OK, you're going to see a little red symbol pop up here. All right. Right there means I'm locked. I can do the same thing with the Jamie picture. So I'm going to lock this in place, which means that nobody can move it. And this PC is really ticking me off right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock Jamie. Now the barcode, I wasn't too happy with the barcode placement. All right. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the barcode. And once my computer decides it wants to play here, I can move this anywhere I want. All right. And the same with the Jamie. All right. If I want to move that. All right, I can move it over here. All right, let's go. I like it over there, but you know what? The barcode, I want a little over here. And all right, so let's go ahead. Let's property. All right, let's lock that down too. Now, remember what I said about having toilet paper nearby? All right. So I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. I apologize about the delay. Awkward. Well, it finally came up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock this in place. All right. Now, what I want to do in this particular case, what I want to do and what my computer will let me do are two different things. But I can actually save this as a template now. If I go up to File and I do a Save As, all right, when you install the P-Touch Editor software, all right, it will put a folder in here called My Labels. So don't be alarmed when you see that. And essentially, this is where it's going to store the labels. So Jamie Brookover service tag. All right. That is now saved as a template inside of your labels. And so you can recall that at any particular time, or you can actually transfer that. All right. The beauty about transferring this particular label is, let's say that you're working out in the field and you want to recall the Jamie label. It's a service tag label, right? So you want the information to vary, but again, we've got everything locked down here. So there's two ways of transferring this. Number one is that you can actually transfer it into the printer, and you can keep this particular template inside the printer, all right, at all times. If you want to change that phone number I have out there, all right, the first thing we want to do is we want to disconnect from the database. All right, so let's go ahead and let's disconnect from the database. All right, this information is now variable, which means that you can put whatever information you want in here, right, on the actual machine. Everything else stays the same. His picture, his barcode, whatever, it stays the same. When this template is put inside the printer, you can enter whatever information you want. You can enter in your service date, next calibration date, whatever you want to do here. But that information is variable because the other stuff I have there is locked. And the same with the Jamie Brookover. If you want to put your name in here as well, the text name, whatever the case may be. So this either goes inside the printer, or what you can do is you can actually put it on the phone. We have an app called iPrint and Label, and it's pretty darn slick. The iPrint and Label will communicate with the PTE 550. It'll communicate with the 950W and the PTE 800, and it does that via Wi-Fi. It's got nothing to do with the internet. It's a peer-to-peer connectivity system. So I'm going to share now my phone, and let's see if this crap works. And I'm going to show you the way that it will come up, not this particular one here, but some of the other labels I've done. And at that particular point in time, when you connect your device, your smart device, with your printer, you can actually print right from the phone. But you can also change that information, the variables in there. If you want to change the phone number in there, you want to change the name in there. Remember, everything else is locked. But those two pieces of information, specifically, let's say on a service tag, instead of using a Sharpie, and I still see it to this day. In fact, whoever installed my solar on the outside of the house here, it's got this nice, beautiful label that they used a Sharpie on, and I can't even see the Sharpie. And it's got pertinent information on there, like installation date and some voltage and whatever. But you can't even see it anymore because it has been faded out. And it's really useless information for me. So again, something like a service tag that can be printed, that can be put on these outside devices, because you know that we're UV resistant and fade resistant. That would have been the better move in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing this one. All right. And we're going to get rid of this. And no, I don't want to save Jamie. All right. So I'm going to show you the phone right now, and I'm going to show you the app on the phone. Again, it's called Brother iPrint and Label. And keep in mind is that these templates can be stored inside the phone. If you have any questions on how to do it, we have two things. Number one, we have how-to videos on how to do it. Mr. Dan Cobb did a couple of them. I did a couple of them. Or call me up and I'll show you. We can get together on a Zoom, and we can do a Zoom as well. So let me show you what it looks like on the phone here. And I'm going to start to share the screen here. I'm going to go in here, and let's see if this pops up. There we go. All right. So what we have here now, all right, is, let me put these specs on because I can't see crap. So let's go into, you can see I've got a couple of different apps up there. All right. Transfer Express. That's one of the ways you can actually get this label into the machine. My iPrint label tool, but let's go to this particular one here. All right. So as you can see, as I scroll through here, I've done a couple of these, right? One in particular right here, all right? This particular one right here is the PM functionality tested. Somebody was buying these labels and they were spending about 50 cents a label. And what they do is they take the label and they put it on the device. And then as far as the expiration date, the identifier, blah, 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 they were sharpieing these things in and it looked absolutely horrible. So we came up with the exact same label. All right. And so now what happens is when you bring this label up, let me see if it's going to go sideways. All right. So you can see I can put in whatever information. All right. So expires, I don't know, let's do 12/31, 2021. All right. But see, now all the information can be typed in. So from a service tag level, it was just as simple as doing this. Let me go back this way. I'm going to cancel what I did here. All right. Here's another one, all right, for the scientific apparatus service calibration. The other thing is we are starting to get into solar fields. And so there's a couple of labels that I've designed here. And imagine if you're a solar tech out in the field and you just want to, rather than going and picking up a baggie full of labels, which are very expensive, mind you, you're going to print off your own labels. Well, why not just keep them on here and print off here? All right. So here's some of the solar warning signs. There's a service tag I did for Doltmeyer. The Doltmeyer in Iowa is paying 75 cents a label for this thing. Muth Electric. Again, I've done a bunch of service tags for these folks, and they can be housed again on your phone. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing. But again, from a design standpoint, it literally only took me a couple of minutes to design that. If you have questions on how to do it, if you have questions on how to transfer this into, let's say, a mobile device, either iOS or Android, certainly reach out to your local brother representative. I'm always available. But we got the rest of the team spread out throughout the country that would be more than willing to help you in that area. With that being said, that's really all I have right now. It's just a very, very quick overview of how you can build and customize a label and logos and barcodes and asset management and pulling from a database and so forth and whatnot. Reach out to me with any questions. Upcoming episodes. All right. So next week, desktops. Desktop is, it runs into really everything we're doing out there. All right. So whether it be from ID badges, it could be shipping, it could be receiving, it could be inventory control in a warehouse environment. It may be bin locations, rack locations, and there's a lot of things moving behind the scenes now within Brother as far as our desktop. So stay tuned. It's really, really exciting stuff. We do have some new desktops I'm going to show you, the TD line, the Titan line, which is an awesome line. This printer is just it's fast, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful printer. And I'm not going to have one live, but we'll run through some demos, and I may even bring in a special guest for next week on our enterprise side as well to explain a little bit of how they use these things. So stay tuned for the desktop stuff. A lot of exciting stuff happening. we're going to do March 11th, the chemical resistance. Like I said before, I'm going to use every type of chemical that I know that I potentially has the wherewithal to really get through our laminated system, and we're going to test that out to the max. March 25th, I'm going to have a special guest to be determined. You'll know this name, but we'll get back on a name for that. In the meantime, please make sure you check out Blake Ermos and Low Voltage Nation, and then Chuck Bowser. Let's Talk Cabling. He's got a real good series. I was a guest on his series already. Chuck may be coming up in the near future. But those guys are keeping everything fresh, including labeling, and we appreciate those guys. As far as how to contact us, I am here in Ramona, California. Reach out to me anytime. Be cognizant of the time zone changes, if you would, please. Mr. Jamie Brook over in Virginia Beach. I got Mr. Dan Cobb in Wisconsin. And those guys are getting a little white stuff on the ground there. A little cold out there. So, not here in Southern California, but anyway, Mr. Bruce Page also got a lot of snow out there in Marblemouth, and then Rob Dawkins, we've got North Carolina, and we got Mr. Craig Robinson, who hails out of Bradenton, Florida. With that being said, Ian, how are you? I just saw Ian. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for your time, guys and girls, and appreciate your time. Thanks for coming every other Thursday. I sincerely appreciate it. And until I see you in 2 weeks, have yourself a great week. Stay healthy, stay safe. Bye for now.